And I found that every time I clenched tighter, it felt even better. And then it broke off. We just kind of had to end it there. Hi, welcome everyone. You join us here on another sunny summer afternoon.
Didn't see you there.
For the well, I mean, we did. We're in a white room. We just pretended we didn't see you because we don't see colour. God. Oh, no. Welcome to Big Damn Cast. I'm Big Damn Chris, aka Yesterday's News.
I'm Big Damn Matt, aka the one good man left in the entertainment industry.
It's very true. You are the only non-creep.
Yeah, that's a lie.
I mean, you know, it's not that you're not a creep. It's just your creep is public. You don't hide your creep.
Yeah, I don't hide my creep.
Yeah.
It is annoying now. Like, people are going, oh, there's no good people left in Hollywood. It's like, no, it's just a minority of...
You're just hearing about the sleazeballs.
Fucking horrible people.
And we'll talk about the sleazeballs in a little while, because we've got a big old DC roundup with Justice League around the corner. As of the release of this podcast, Justice League is out in cinemas, but we're recording this on Wednesday, the 15th of November.
Yes.
So, reviews are starting to appear. There aren't any early preview screenings, and we'll both be watching this, I think, tomorrow. The 16th, I think, is when we're... the 16th. The 18th is, I think, when we're both getting our eyes around the movie.
I'll probably see it on the Friday.
So, if you want to know what we think of Justice League... Next week, boys and girls, we'll dive elbow deep into spoiler territory.
Yeah.
But we've got a bunch of Justice League news to talk about this week. And also, we're going to touch a little bit on what happens when you hide something between the lines in a certain family publication.
Yep.
But first, just before we start recording...
News just in!
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds and the Deadpool Twitter account both put out a Bob Ross art video. That's weird, isn't it?
Hilarious Deadpool jinx.
So we both clicked on it just now, like about a minute before we started recording, and lo and behold, the viral marketing genius of this movie franchise continues.
Say what you will about whether this movie's going to be good or not.
Yeah.
They know how to market the fuck out of it.
Oh, good lord. Like, the amount of material for the first Deadpool that was created for before, after, and during the release period was amazing. The Blu-ray is full of, like, continuous shorts that they filmed for, like, cancer awareness and things like that. It's like, they marketed the film by getting involved with appeals, but then they also had, like, these trailers and that. And you just get the feeling they set aside a couple of days where they go, right, Ryan, get in the costume. Here's roughly what we're going to do. Improvise.
Or was it more a case of Ryan going, hey guys, I want to put the costume on and you want to just roll the camera?
Well, it's like Halloween, wasn't it? Like, for Halloween, the year before, like Halloween 2015, he just went out trick-or-treating with a bunch of kids dressed as the X-Men. Like, it was planned. I don't mean Ryan Reynolds just creeped up some kids dressed as the X-Men.
Hey kids, you want to go trick-or-treating?
But it was just like, this movie's not out for another 6 months, and here you are selling it to us in the weirdest way imaginable. This is great.
He's definitely thrown himself behind it in a way that a lot of stars kind of don't past a certain point, you know?
It's very true. And he continues to do so with the release of... Because it turns out this Bob Ross video isn't just a little sketch. It's the teaser trailer for Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
Slap bang in the middle, a bunch of really fast-paced, mostly to guns being reloaded or fired footage of Deadpool. Cheeky bit of Dominoes in there briefly.
Yeah,
there was a bit of Weasel. Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I'm sure I spotted Cable in at least one shot.
Maybe.
Bunch of vehicles smashing into each other.
With Cable.
Yes, oh yeah. A bunch of vehicles smashing into each other. Wade popping out of a coffin. Blind Al packing lead.
Throwing up a chainsaw in the air.
Yeah, oh god. So,
just, general, standard Deadpool stuff.
Also, like, the names of the colours. Absolutely Doc Brown. Just like, but the best one is obviously Betty White. It's like, you gotta get Betty White in that. Yellowstone.
Yellowstone, Betty White, Clockwork Orange. Pretty in Pink.
Yeah. Basically,
oh my days.
This movie's, I think it's a similar release date, isn't it? It's like February, March.
I believe so, yeah.
So, it might be shortly after Black Panther. That'll be fun. So we get our first super serious Marvel movie in a while, like, compared to this year's sort of comedy offerings.
Yeah.
And then Deadpool comes in and goes, hey, here's a bit of relief, here's a bit of nonsense. After all that badassery, here's some badassery with a smirk and a turd in its pants. From that teaser trailer, I'd be surprised. Maybe there are characters in it that are bringing a more gritty seriousness to it.
Maybe Cable's really serious and everyone else thinks he's a fucking idiot.
That would be magical. I know Colossus is back in it as well, so you'll still get some of that righteous superhero, like inspiring speechifying and everything.
I loved Colossus.
It was such a great interpretation. I mean, a lot of people who are hardcore fans of Colossus got really annoyed about it. It was like, oh no, you just turn him into a joke. It's like
the whole movie's a joke. Like
the whole movie's a joke, and also at least he's a nice guy compared to what they've done with a lot of your other favourite characters.
And also, trust me, I've been reading comics for my entire adult life and most of my childhood life. If you take it seriously, if you take it too seriously, that way lies madness.
Indeed, you do.
That way lies absolute. You've got to, particularly superhero comics. Like, I'm not saying that comics are a medium you can't tell serious stories in. Of course they are, but superhero comics, for the most part, you can't take that shit seriously.
No,
you'll go insane.
But enough about Justice League's fanbase. Oh! Wrecked. More on that later. First, let's talk about another comic magazine publication. Doctor Who magazine, for those who don't know, is a magazine about Doctor Who.
Really?
Yeah, I think we're all caught up to speed there. In the most recent issue 418, I believe. I should probably check. No, 6. Wait, 418?
Yeah, I was thinking 400 is not
518. It's 518, that's right.
Because that thing's been going since the mid-70s.
Yeah, in his late 70s was Doctor Who Weekly, wasn't it?
My dad's
Marvel Comics Doctor Who presents Doctor Who Weekly.
My dad... No, it wasn't Marvel. It was only Marvel in the States.
Was it?
Yeah. Because Marvel in the States published the strips as a comic.
Right, okay.
But the magazine, I think it was Panini probably originally. But
I've got some issues in a box like in here. I should probably we could check when I'm too lazy.
Dad's got the
and it's a very heavy box.
My dad's got the first. I think the first. He's got from the first issue to just before season 26.
Okay, so
a complete run.
A pretty damn big chunk of a near decade.
A near decade of original Doctor Who magazine.
But I've got quite a few in that box. There's quite a few of from the Davison run. I've not had a proper binge.
I keep meaning to get a proper magazine size long box for him and go through them with him and bag and board them all. But I've just not had time. But I'm going to do that with him at some point.
I'm sure I've got a long box you can borrow.
I need a magazine size one though, not a comic size.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, of course.
And magazine size backboards. So,
yeah,
because it's magazine format, not comic format.
Well,
anyway,
it might be that for now.
For now,
but it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
That's how for now.
Oh God, full. Is that a how-to reference?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Hi, younger listeners. You all don't know what you missed out on. Full disclosure. I contribute to the Doctor Who magazine article time team. I am not a member of staff at Doctor Who magazine.
Collusion! This is about ethics in Doctor Who journalism!
Nor do I know a bunch of the goings on at Doctor Who magazine internally. All I know is the people who I collaborate with for my article, and I have gotten to know some of the staff members.
You were a freelance contributor on a semi-regular basis.
Indeedy-doody-da. So I was as amazed as you were, gentle listener/reader, to find a hidden message in issue 418's The Watcher article, titled Watcher, conveniently enough, which said at the end of the article, in fact I've got a copy of 418 here, said at the end...
He just keeps it around for David Tennant's face on the front.
If you look hard enough, there's always something hidden in plain sight. Some people took that challenge as a suggestion there was something in the article. And that thing was a hidden message where if you combine the first letter of every sentence in the main article of that page, it creates the phrase Panini
Don't say it.
And BBC Worldwide
Don't say it.
Are a very nasty word which we won't repeat in this context, but we do say often. Now, it's come out since that The Watcher, I wish, The Watcher was Barnaby Edwards. No, Nicholas Pegg. Sorry, I don't want to blame Barnaby Edwards there. One of the two Dalek operators. It's Nicholas Pegg.
So that one, not the other one.
Yes, so yeah, one Dalek operator, not t'other. Nicholas Pegg had been contributing as The Watcher for a while. He's done loads of stuff with Big Finish, and he's one of the two Dalek operators, alongside Barnaby Edwards, who I just accidentally threw under the bus for being something he's not. It's not Barnaby, it's Nicholas. And yeah, that's now come out, and it's also come out that, that article's not carrying on. But it also looks like BBC Worldwide and Panini have been strangling it in some way, possibly. There's been some kind of business stuff that has pissed him off. Hence why he decided to drop this. There is belief that this might have been the last article of The Watcher anyway.
Yeah.
And that's why he did this, to sort of throw a middle finger at his bosses. Not so sure. But I just wanted to bring it up because it was really weird to read that as someone who contributes to the magazine.
Yeah.
I did not know how to feel. Because at the same time, I've worked in environments where non-creative people have been in charge of creative content and have forced it into corners, and it's really unpleasant, and you get really frustrated. So part of me was like, ha, take that. And then the rest of me was like, that's a really stupid move. Because at the end of the day, the reason why it's the most stupid is this is a family magazine.
Yeah.
It's a Panini-run family magazine that is made with permission, like with the permissions of an occasional cooperation with BBC Worldwide.
It's licensed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if a kid were... I mean, it's hidden, but if a kid were to decipher that, they've just learnt a really unpleasant word.
Well, I think if a kid did decipher that, they'd already know what that word had meant.
Yeah, fair enough.
Let's face it.
But in the age of the internet, the moment anyone was going to find that out, at least one person was going to put it everywhere, and that is the case. It seems like Nicholas has been fired from any further contributions, and there's even rumour that he's been fired from BBC Wales as well as a Dalek operator. No confirmation of that, but considering BBC Worldwide have a stake in BBC Wales and BBC Studios, it's quite likely that they do it. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. I don't know. Obviously, I don't have any insight into what's going on behind the scenes, but as a fan, I've been quite critical of the way that BBC Worldwide have been handling the Doctor Who franchise, and the production and all that sort of stuff. And I mean, we were very complimentary about Class, their sort of latest attempt to milk some more from the sort of limping mass that has become Doctor Who after it was revitalised, and then now it's gone to shit.
Yeah. And
that's why I'm partly excited for the new take on it, especially after the costume came out this week.
Yes. Which we should nicely let us segue towards it. But just wanted to mention DWM. Watch this space. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next as a publication, because I am as in the dark as you lot for the majority of this stuff. But I have a feeling that freelance contributors like myself are about to play a lesser role. Because it means less risk. So let's find out what happens. It would suck if that was it for articles like Fact of Fiction and Time Team. I'm not just saying that because I'll contribute to one of them, but it would suck because Fact of Fiction is my favourite article in the magazine. I love Fact of Fiction, but I believe that is an outside contribution, so that sucks. But what doesn't suck? Jodie's costume. Now, we did do a little sneaky peek about that on YouTube last week when it came out, because we'd already recorded last week's episode. But let's talk about it. When I first looked at it, I was like, yeah, okay. Alright. I don't hate it, but I'm not in love with it. A few days later, I actually really like it. And do you know what cemented it for me, though?
What's that?
The fan art. Weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Seeing people's interpretations of it. Like, it's the closest we're going to get for a while to seeing it in motion.
Yeah.
And it looks cool. Now, obviously, a drawing on Tumblr is not necessarily an indication of exactly how the costume's going to be shot and lit and how it looks in motion.
Yeah. And part of costume design for TV and film is as much about how it looks statically as it looks in motion.
Yeah. She's got a silhouette, though, which is always important, especially for characters like the Doctor.
Because what was unique about the 12th Doctor silhouette?
Exactly. Well, it got unique when they let him grow his hair out and wear a hoodie occasionally. Then it was sort of like, oh, there's a bit of a shape here. But that was kind of it, really.
11 had the sort of the gangliness and the slightly too short trousers with the big boots.
And the little like sort of cropped tweed jacket and the bow tie.
Which, it doesn't sound like it's putting a silhouette, but actually it kind of does, because it gives him that shape, that extra bit around the neck. And just
what we mean, in case people confused, it's like silhouette is it's a design term really referring to like if you were to just literally paint the character black like a shadow, could you tell who that character was?
Yeah.
It's not the be all and end all of character design, but it does lend obviously a very distinct quality to each thing. If you can look at the shadow and go, oh, I know who that is. Like if you saw Darth Vader's shadow, you go, that's Darth Vader.
Yeah. Most of the Doctors, you can do that.
Yeah. Obviously, we're looking at some of them now.
Yeah, I'm just looking up at them and I'm thinking, probably the only one who doesn't have a really distinct silhouette is Eccleston. But that's fine, because...
But when you line him up amongst the other silhouettes of his ilk, you know who it is.
because that's also when they brought the show back, it was necessarily stripped down so the audience would get their head around it, and then they went mental with it, which is why that Russell T Davies resurgence worked. And then you look at the 12th Doctor, it's just a bit bland design wise.
Man in coat.
I mean, even the David Tennant Doctor is.
The suit that's sort of like weirdly tight and crinkled.
Yeah,
in
it
the
looks
corners
like a plain design at first glance. But when you think about it in terms of silhouette, you've got the long coat and the tight suit and the glasses,
the hair,
and that just like that little quiff.
Yeah, because again, like he goes through sort of the quiffs or the spikes and things like that, the glasses, and
so it's a really simple, clean design, but it's become iconic because of its simplicity. And
I think that's what's nice about Jodie's.
Yeah,
it's sort of following the 12th Doctor, the mission they set themselves when they put it together. Capaldi said he had a big input in his costume.
Yeah,
his first costume, which again was sort of like John Pertwee light.
Yeah,
like it was like stripped down Pertwee.
I liked that first costume.
And the reason why he did that is he said he wanted to make it easy for fans to replicate.
Yeah,
he said he wanted a simple stripped down outfit and one that you could easily mimic. Because admittedly, if you wanted to cosplay the 12th Doctor's like original outfit, maybe the hardest thing to find would be the coat. Or it'd be easy to find a coat, but then you've got to sew a red lining into it. Yeah. Like there's only sort of one piece of work you have to do. Aside from that, waistcoat or cardigan, white shirt, tight black pants, boots, or school shoes even. There you go. Yeah. You've got it. But it seems Jodie's is a similar thing. It's a very straightforward. I mean, I say straightforward. I say easy to get hold of. It's one of those things where immediately people have gone, "Oh, that T-shirt's from there, and that's from there," and you're like, "Wow, these are very expensive items." That the costume designer's obviously gone, "I'm going to justify the bill we've been given," and they buy very expensive items in bulk.
People have already, they've already started cosplaying this.
Yes, because again, it's straightforward.
What I like about it, as I said to you on Twitter, is it's kind of clownish. Which is one of the best. A lot of the best Doctor Who costumes is an element of the clown in them. Yeah. Not the painted face clown, but the sort of the theatrical clown.
Yeah.
With the two big pants and the braces and the stripes on the shirt.
Obviously, second Baker and McCoy is an immediate thought.
Yeah.
A lot of Tom's outfits have that thing of they're quite smart, but then he just wears them in a way that isn't right.
And it's the big scarf and the teeth and the curls as well.
And then the big wide brimmed hats and the way he flounces around with his scarf and everything. And even to an extent, I think Davison's slightly clownish.
Troughton's very clownish. He's not very colourful.
Troughton, absolutely.
But it's the big baggy pants.
Troughton's
and the big
Chaplin-esque.
It's Chaplin. Yeah. It's that kind of clown.
Yeah.
And I think there's an element of that to it.
Davison sort of is just because he's in an outfit you don't normally walk around in, but then he's capped it off with like a big coat to be like, see, this fits in perfectly. It's like, you look a bit silly.
So I think that's what excites me about the costume is that sort of feel of it gives a suggestion of a bit more of a funness to the character, which is there, and also that disarming quality that the Doctor has.
Yeah. Friend of the show, Guy Lambeau, pointed out on Twitter, it's very like rainbow, it's very 70s kind of thingy. And wouldn't it be interesting if the family of the co-stars of the show that we've been introduced to now, would it be interesting if their present day, so like the show's grounded present day, was the 70s rather than present day like London, as it always flipping is? Like, that would be different. And it's a time travel show. Why wouldn't you try and do something like that?
Yeah,
that would be great. Like, would this be the first time since sort of, I guess, forgetting Aliens, probably since Jamie, really, isn't it? Is Jamie the last companion who's from a different time to the present of the main show who wasn't an alien? He might be.
I think he was.
I can't think of any other like because the Clara that the show went with was a present day version of the character. Clara. And like forgetting Nissa and Tegan and Adric and everyone, because they're like either aliens or present day, just not from England and things like that. But like
Nissa, Adric, and Turlo were all aliens.
Yeah.
Or Turlo wasn't originally. And he sort of retconned him into it, I think.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, because it's Black Guardian stuff, isn't it?
Yeah. And then
I'm trying to think. Leela. The alien though. She's an alien.
Yeah,
but she's sort of based off of an archetype of like.
I think she was like a human. She was human, descended from humans, marooned on an alien planet, so technically alien.
Yeah, but it's not. It's not the Earth's past thing. It's just reminiscent of past. So that would be different and kind of cool, and also explain her outfit because it means she's sort of blending into that time and the fashions of that time and everything. So That'd be nice.
I think it's a cool look, and I'm interested to see what it looks like in motion and what she does with the character. I'm more optimistic about the show now than I have been in a long time.
Yeah. Only 9 months to wait to see any of it!
Yay!
Oh,
I'll tell you what I'm not optimistic about.
Oh?
So Justice League is coming out, as we said, and the social media embargo is up. So critics have been posting their impressions on Twitter and such. I think the print embargo is up now as well, so proper reviews have started coming out.
Yeah.
However,
Oh?
you won't be seeing its Rotten Tomatoes score until Friday evening.
That is disgusting.
So Rotten Tomatoes are holding back the aggregate score for
Now-
Justice League to reveal on their own streaming show at like midnight on Thursday.
Oh god, what if it's terrible?
Well,
They'll be eating their own words then, won't they? They'll be like, this is great, because it doesn't matter people bought tickets, but as far as that streaming show goes, how embarrassing would that be if they were like, and it's in, and it's 36%
Well-
rotten. Oh god, like
Well,
that'd be, I mean, we ragged on Disney last week for like controlling cinema, but this is Warner Brothers controlling their own press.
they have a stake in the
Yeah.
company that owns Rotten Tomatoes.
Which is why it was hilarious last year when people were slagging off Warner Brothers, going, "Get rid of Rotten." No, they weren't slagging off Warner Brothers; they were slagging off Rotten Tomatoes. Going,
Yeah,
get
yeah.
rid of Rotten Tomatoes because like, they're slagging off Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad. And it's like, right, two things: one, Rotten Tomatoes don't make the scores.
No,
they are an
it's an
aggregate.
aggregate.
They are a website that like mathematically puts all the big like media scores together. It's
like Metacritic.
and shows you roughly what the response has been critically and amongst fans. That's
Yeah.
what it's for. Also, you're complaining about it attacking two DC movies who were owned by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers have a very big stake in Rotten Tomatoes. Do you think they're doing it on purpose? Of course they're not. It's an aggregate, for Christ's sake.
But despite the protests to the contrary, I think they might be doing this
yeah.
on purpose.
Yeah, this is gross.
It
Like,
is
this
a
is
bit
really
gross.
gross.
Like, just let us see the scores. And also, if they're not worried about the scores, if they know they've got a good film on their hands,
Why are they holding them back till after at least a third of its opening weekend audience have gone to see it?
Whereas by
Because the first third will have seen it by Friday evening, or will be seeing it that
Yeah.
night. So, like, who are you trying to hold this back from, guys?
Whereas by contrast, Disney have got out ahead of Last Jedi and clearly showing confidence in it because they've turned around to Ryan Johnson and said, "Okay, you're going to make another Star Wars trilogy."
Yeah. Which I was going to suggest we talk about. I think we say that for a later time, to be honest, because
we'll
that's
talk
all
about
we
it.
know. That and a,
Yeah,
and a TV show.
We'll talk about that closer to the time.
Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan trilogy. That's my vote.
Yay! So I think there's a big difference between a studio that's that's getting out ahead of its movies
Sorry,
and showing its confidence.
Obi-Wan, we need you to help with the secret mission. I'm in exile.
It's not going to be.
Please come on a secret mission. I'm in exile.
I don't want to.
It's just 3 movies of it. It's 3 movies of him sat in his little house on Tatooine,
Listen,
turning down missions.
I don't want to piss on your party, but that's not going to happen.
Well, if he's in at least one, I'd be very happy.
It'll be nice to the Old Republic, I reckon.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Ooh,
or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Because they've not really they've made references in the new canon to that period, but they haven't really nailed down a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, even in like Rogue One and stuff as well, like
Because
talking about what's the planet with the kyber crystals and everything.
Jeddah.
Like even talking about Jeddah is sort of suggesting
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna maybe explore the history of
And
this
there's
thing
been
at
some
some
like
point.
prehistory stuff in Rebels as well.
I need to
But
catch up on that.
also the Old Republic MMO that's going at the moment, that's not canon. New material's still being done for it, but it's not canon anymore.
Okay.
So that'd be an interesting place to experience. And like you can't really go anywhere else unless you just go to an unconnected part of the galaxy. But what story are you going to tell? Anyway, that's beside the point. So it's just an interesting difference between like a studio that will hold back its press embargo to the last minute, and then a studio that's going like, yeah, we like this movie so much that isn't even out till December that we're just going to get the guy to do 3 more.
Yeah, it's like, hey everyone, just letting you know, we are so proud of the product he's made, we're giving him more work.
Yeah.
Just so you
Already.
know. Bye everyone. And guaranteed as well, Star Wars comes out on the 14th. Oh my god, it's
I'm
less
seeing
than
it
a
on the
month away.
14th of December, yeah.
14th of December. So it comes out a couple of weeks before Christmas.
Yeah.
And guaranteed the reviews for Last Jedi will start showing up at the very latest, like the 7th of December. That's when the reviews will start coming
I
out.
thought so.
Which is, again, shows confidence. Thor Ragnarok, the reviews came out like a couple of weeks before the film came out in the UK. So, like, America have been looking at reviews for a month going, oh, cool, can't wait to see it.
Oh, yeah.
And, just... So this is slimy, and it doesn't bode well for the movie. However, some reviews have made it out. Now, my experience of the review so far has been a couple of YouTube reviews. I watched Collider's, Chris Stuckman's, and Jeremy John's.
Yep.
And then after I bleached my eyes, oh God. Well, here's the thing. No disrespect to these people, they make a living doing this stuff, but Collider always strike me as kind of like they're just sort of going, here are things we know about a film. Do you like it, guys? Cool.
Do you think
okay.
Collider are a little sycophantic in that they probably are not completely honest about what they watch?
I don't think they give a shit. I think they just say what they need to say to keep being promoters for stuff. Yeah. Chris Stuckman and Jeremy Jones don't have that kind of stake in it, but all the same, I think they're annoyed at the response they get to criticisms of DC movies. So their reviews for Justice League and Collider's were just sort of, Ray Fisher's really good, he does well. Gal Gadot's cool. I wish we'd seen a bit more of Flash and Aquaman. Steppenwolf's kind of cool. All in all, this is I think they're on the right track. It's a pretty fun movie. Go check it out. And it's like, wow, you're just trying not to say anything that will get you some hate. But guaranteed their comment sections will still be full of people going like, Marvel shit, DC haters, because as we've talked before, there is a very, very loud vocal minority of the DC film fan base that are just toxic, vile, nasty people.
Just get fucked. Get fucked.
People who are like, I mean, for example, person we both really enjoy, Bob Chipman.
Yeah.
Movie Bob put out his review on Twitter, and one of the first responses was calling him like a talentless fuck and everything. And it's like, you've not seen the movie yourself.
Why are you defending this movie?
Why are you and do you think the movie would want to be defended this way? It's all these people like, Batman's badass, Superman's fucking cool. It's like, yeah. Do you know how they solve problems by doing the right thing and not being twats about it? Oh wait, no, they're supposed to do that, but your version doesn't do that, do they? Your versions are arseholes. It's sort of, if you go back and you look at previous Zack Snyder movies, there is a culture of people who come to his defence for all of his previous movies that do that in that same way. They're like, if you don't like Sucker Punch, then you're fucking stupid and gay. It's like, whoa! What? It's just so odd. So it's this weird bro culture.
It's so toxic.
That's merged with this culture of DC fans who are so annoyed that another company from the same place is doing well.
Yeah.
That they will violently defend their movies regardless of whether they're good films. Because here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a movie.
Oh, no.
But
of course not.
If other people have a problem with it, that's fine too. Like, plain and simple. That's how it is. But also, you can enjoy a movie and it not be a good movie and you know it's not a good movie.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's fine too. But these people are like, it's a fucking masterpiece, Marvel's bunch of cocksucking fuckers. And it's like, whoa!
I love your angry internet person voice. I have no time for it.
I want to round them up into a tiny box and just smile at them.
Throw them into the Phantom Zone.
Just smile at them all. No, I just want to smile at them. And they'll be like, why's he smiling? Why's he fucking smiling? I'm like, because I'm happy. I'm kind of content over here.
Because I love you all.
You could be like this too. You could be happy too. It's great. Being happy's fine. And then, cast them off into the Phantom Zone. I will find him!
Yeah.
You! And then one day, your fucking ass! Yeah. Off he spins. But Bob Chipman, Movie Bob, put out a statement which I think meets what we're both expecting from this movie. Wasn't it comparing Batman v Superman, the experience of watching Batman v Superman and Justice League?
I think I can't remember the quote exactly, but it was something like, so Batman v Superman was a goblet of boiling piss. Justice League is a goblet of room temperature piss. It's gross and you shouldn't swallow it, but it won't actively hurt you on the way down. Okay.
So what he's basically saying is, it's shit, but it's not as terribly shit as the last one.
It's not as bad as BVS, but it's less interesting because it's just less interesting.
Yeah, we've said this before on the show, like the worst kind of movie is a boring movie.
And it sounds like
a terrible movie is less of a crime than a boring movie, because at least a terrible movie makes you feel something and you can talk about it.
I mean, we'll see for ourselves next week. We'll be able to talk for it. So I don't want to get too much into or too much more into.
It's all about the he said, she said bullshit.
I mean, we will be able to judge for ourselves next week, but it seems from the initial reactions that most of my worries about this movie have been borne out, and that's a shame because I wanted it to be good and I wanted it to be a course correction. But again, we'll be able to see for ourselves next week. There's not really much more we can do until we see it.
There is one thing I am looking forward to about the movie, though. Absolutely, trying to spot the Henry Cavill CGI'd upper lip shots.
I've heard that's like Uncanny Valley-esque in parts.
Yeah.
So, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll be able to talk about
All
it.
I'm saying is, do you remember when there was back in the day, everyone was going, "We should have him come back and he should have like long hair and a beard and all that." Maybe they should have gone with that, because at least a mustache in reshoots can be hidden amongst a beard.
Yeah, but it might have been a case of it being shot out of order. So the stuff they needed to reshoot was...
Oh, God, so maybe... What if the stuff they shot involved him with a beard and long hair, and then the reshoots were the stuff with him after that, and it's like, oh, he actually has a mustache now. They should have just kept it! I'm Superman, and this is my mustache!
I'm assuming there was some continuity problem that meant he couldn't have the mustache.
Apparently, one of the reviews did mention that when he rocks up in the movie, like, the sequence that brings him back, like, reintroduces him, is very Superman. Now, I don't know what they mean by that. I don't know if they mean very DCEU Superman, in which case, oh, look, it's a mopey blue and red streak who doesn't want to be here. Or does it mean, oh, shit, that's kind of like the Superman we kind of wanted?
Yeah.
And if
I'm
so,
hoping it's the latter.
Is it too late? This is his third outing. And the fourth movie where he's mentioned.
Is it too late? We shall see. We shall see.
But
there's also other kinds of turmoil over the DC camp. So we mentioned earlier about sleazy people in Hollywood and all the stuff that's coming out, and rightfully so.
Ladies and gents, everyone's
like
a fucking
there's
dirt.
a big change in the air at the moment of people being able to turn around and point fingers at accusers who've had to hide their stories for years or not been able to go public, and that is incredible to see. It's horrible that it's taken this to get us to that point, but it's wonderful to see people turning around and going, actually, no, this wasn't right, and this shouldn't have happened. And I'm going to point, and I'm going to tell...
using your position of power to do this to people for so many years.
And I'm going to tell the world what a piece of shit you were, /are, and so everyone knows. And, you know, it's led to Kevin Spacey being dropped like a fucking hot rock.
What's your favourite Kevin Spacey post career apocalypse moment? Mine's his scenes in the Ridley Scott movie being completely reshot within 2 weeks with Christopher Plummer, which makes more sense because the character he was playing was older than he was anyway, and they had to spend like thousands on prosthetics. When instead you could do something that Hollywood doesn't do properly usually, which is cast an actor who suits the part.
Ridley Scott wanted Christopher Plummer originally, but was forced to recast with Kevin Spacey by the studio because they wanted a star. Although apparently that studio was completely oblivious to all these allegations that have been flying around for years that I'd heard as a fucking jobbing actor, like first hand, fucking 6 years ago.
Fucking hell.
So, you know, everyone knew Kevin Spacey was a fucking creep. But anyway, we're not talking about Spacey.
Although there is that wonderful thing, that meme that went around, people were like, can we go back and edit every Kevin Spacey project and just put Christopher Plummer in it?
They did it with the Oscar selfie.
Yes! That was good. That was good. And there was another one. What's that, like, mid-90s action film he was in with Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh, God.
And the poster's, like, really generic 90s action for, like, they're sort of both either side of a caption. It's all, like, washed out in orange. There's one where someone's just, like, badly photoshopped Plummer's face over Spacey's, but it's hilarious.
There's also the one of Gwyneth Paltrow reveals what's in the box at the end of 7, and it's just Kevin Spacey's career.
Nice.
But
anyway,
you know, we're not talking about Spacey.
No, but again, like, creepy fuck.
Yeah.
Creepy fuck over here, creepy fuck over there.
We're talking about Brett Ratner.
Creepy fuck.
Now, we've known he's a fucking hack for years.
Brett Ratner is sort of like a go-to director,
fuck.
isn't he? He's like a studio just goes, oh, fuck, we've got this action flick, we don't really give a shit. Brett, you'll do it, won't you? And he's like, yeah, because he can do a competent job at directing a movie.
Hack.
But he's terrible.
Yeah.
The movies are never good, and he never heightens what could be interesting in the material with his delivery.
Yeah.
But he's a competent filmmaker in the sense that he makes the film. And there it is. Look at it. It moves. It doesn't look like it's been slashed together. It looks like it's all been done with intent. Just no flair, no flavour, no passion.
Yeah. And
it's because apparently all of his flair, flavour and passion was being put elsewhere.
Yeah, so a few accusations have come out against Brett Ratner, but the one that caught my eye was Ellen Page's.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah.
I think that's nastier almost because it's not it's not a physical attack.
No, it was verbally abuse. He was bullying.
Yeah.
He was teasing her about her sexuality before she'd come out publicly and before she'd even come out to herself, as she says in the thing. She wasn't even sure about her own sexuality, and he was already teasing her for it. And just really unpleasant stuff.
Yeah,
and
it was in front of other people as well. Like, it's not even like a personal creepy little thing. It's a thing which is in front of other people,
sort of shaming her in front of the rest of the cast, which is absolutely fucking inexcusable.
Which now makes me feel sad because I'm like, obviously, okay, so it's X-Men Last Stand pre-production. Not everyone in that cast, we don't know who's in the room when these things were happening, but not everyone in that cast was like in an unbreakable position. But obviously, some would have felt like they were under pressure. Like, no, I need to keep doing this. But it does make you feel slightly dirty about the cast of X-Men as well, in a way. It's like, did no one say anything? Like, really? He was the new kid. Like, you could very easily have just been like, right, hang on, you don't do this. But that's neither here nor there.
It comes back to like the power dynamics of directors and studios.
Oh my god! I've just realised as well. Like the X-Men trilogy and some of the newer movies, all directed by sort of known offenders.
Yeah, I haven't seen any accusations come out against Bryan Singer recently, but I know they've come out before.
But people have been typing them back up and going, here's another director-producer he was involved in who's now been revealed to have done some horrible shit. Him and Singer hung out all the time.
Yeah.
Like, in the same group. This actor has come forward to talk about how he was invited to several do's with them, and each time one of them tried to get up on it. It's like, oh my god.
So basically,
but Ratner, fucking sleazeball.
And his production company's a big investor in the DCEU.
Yes, what they're called something Dune, something Rat Dune, something like that.
Something like that.
I'll have a quick gander. I'll have a quick little look.
So reportedly, what's happened? I've seen this reported a lot, but I haven't seen an official sort. Like,
it's very important
by herself.
Very important to state. Yeah, they've not confirmed this yet. But the fact no one's come forward to deny it from Warner Brothers or whatever does kind of suggest, this is probably true.
Reportedly, what's happened is that Gal Gadot is refusing to come back for Wonder Woman 2 until Brett Ratner is removed as producer from the franchise.
Yeah.
If it is true, and like you say, the lack of a denial is curious, then I think it's a really bold move from Gadot, and I think it's definitely the kind of thing that needs to start happening more with actors. I think the ball is in a lot of the male actors' courts in terms of like them standing up and recognising, I'm in a position of privilege, so I should be able to turn around and say, actually no, this is the way it needs to be for everyone, not just for the white dudes, the straight white dudes who get everything they want anyway. Like, as a person of privilege, you have a duty to
look after others.
Like, I don't want it to be patronising. I don't want to be patronised about it. You have to, but you do have a duty to try and make things better for those less fortunate. I say less fortunate, like being born with a different colour skin is a thing of like luck, but
it's a sort of a social and economic standing and things like that. Where if you can help people who don't have what you have,
then you
should do it. Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see more actors do that. Again, if this is true, it hasn't been officially confirmed. But it's been reported rather a lot.
Yeah, the company, by the way, is Rat Pack Dune Entertainment.
Rat Pack Dune,
of which Brett Ratner is like one of the owners of the company. Yeah. So essentially, what has been reported is Gal Gadot has said, "I want a different company to work on this.
Yeah,
like you get rid of that company; they are not working on this movie." I understand that that's going to put a lot of people out of jobs, but the point is, I want to hurt him where he actually feels the effect in his wallet.
Yeah, because he's profiting from it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it's based on the stories that have come out, like stuff like Natasha Henstridge back when she was being a runner on like a TV gig, and he like sort of freaking a common thing with all these creeps so far has been jerking off in front of people.
Yeah, that came out with Louis C.K. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, one of the Brett Ratner ones is like she was delivering something to his trailer. As she was either like an extra or a runner, but either way she was bringing. It was earlier in her career, and she was bringing stuff over. And she opens the trailer door, and apparently he was just stood there with a shrimp cocktail in one hand and his dick in the other.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Like, huh?
What kind of life are these people living?
I don't know, but it's a common thing. Weinstein jerking off into plant pots. Like, it just seems to be a thing. It's ugh. But anyway, like exhibitionism. Some people get off on that. This isn't exhibitionism. This is I'm standing in a room whilst an unsuspecting person enters the room and I'm jerking off. Ugh. But anyway, she's basically gone like he's got away with this shit for years. He obviously doesn't care. It's water off a duck's back for him.
Yeah.
So I'll do the next best thing.
I don't think.
I'll do the next best thing. He's used his position of privilege to sexually assault and harass people. So I'm going to take away the privilege.
Yeah.
This Wonder Woman 2 would definitely have been his company's like biggest grossing film.
I would have thought so.
In the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So she's like, right, I'll take that away from him. Because there's the whole stuff with Bryan Cranston this week. He's been saying like, is there a chance for forgiveness for these people? Yes. People have misinterpreted that as him being like, don't be so hard on them, guys.
Yeah.
I think what he's saying is, look, they're still human beings and eventually they're going to have to earn and live. So, do we forgive them? Maybe not. But at the same time, we give them wiggle room to like do something. I think the point he should have made clearer, because everyone's misinterpreted what he's saying, but I kind of get what he's trying to say. The point he's saying is, like, let them go off and live a life, keep an eye on them, but certainly don't let them get back into the position they had in the first place.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because that's the thing about this. It's like, they've done some horrible shit, but they've done it through positions of power. So, like, Brett Ratner, if he wants to, like, take a tinier position in a production company and be left, leave everyone the fuck alone and not be on film sets and not be dealing with actors and runners and everything and that and the other, fair enough, because we'll never hear about him again. He'll earn money and he'll wallow in the self-pity of, oh shit, I ruined my shot of being like a big guy.
But then do these
Because I was a
people
horrible
even
person.
fucking care? Like,
Oh no, but that's the thing, it seems like he doesn't give a fuck.
No.
So Gadot's going, alright, okay.
allegedly she's
You're not
doing
gonna-
that.
Well,
like,
yeah.
'cause, like, I haven't been able to find an official confirmation.
I hope it's true though. I really do hope it's true. Interestingly, as I was searching up the production company, the Times of Israel had put up their review of put up their review of Justice League. And the headline is, Wonder Woman can save the world, but not even Gal Gadot can save Justice League.
Nice.
So oh god.
Well,
so that's the what do you call it? Gal Gadot side of things.
so her future's in question. As,
Yeah,
as
but let's
Wonder
be
Woman.
honest. But her future Wonder Woman's in question. But let's put it this way: if Warners know what's good for them, they'll sort that out.
Oh yeah.
Even if they don't, I don't think she's going to be short of any job offers
Oh
to
no,
be in
people are going to
starring
snap her up.
roles.
Like, she's got star quality.
And again, I rewatched Wonder Woman this week for the first time since the cinema, and I stand by this. Like, I don't think she's quite perfected her craft yet.
No.
But when she works with a director who like knows how to sort of help her tell a story, she's phenomenal. So I want her journey to continue. I would like her and Patty Jenkins to work together one more time, because I think Gadot could be a really, really fucking stellar actor.
Oh yeah.
She's got it in her.
She's got the raw charisma.
That's the thing. Do you know my favourite thing about rewatching the Blu-ray, apart from the movie? We watched the outtakes.
Yeah.
They are the goofiest outtakes I've ever seen, and they look like they're having so much fun. Like, just so much fun. There's just so many bits where she and Chris Pine are, like, throwing each other off slightly, and they just start giggling for a minute on end. And it's like, you are a pure fucking soul. Like, I want to see you do well.
Charisma and chemistry.
And it looks like... But she's definitely... I mean, if this is true, what a genuinely pure soul. Because she's like, yeah, I'm going to fucking take a stand here. I'm in a position of power, and I'm going to use my position of power to help other people.
Although, of course, some people are coming
And
out
smack
and
down a villain.
oh, yeah, she's standing up for women, but she won't stand up for Palestinians. But that's a whole Israel-Palestine thing, and I don't even want to get into that fucking minefield.
She's an actor in an industry where some shit's been happening in that industry, and she's using her position possibly to do something about it. That's awesome. That's Wonder Woman, motherfucker.
But is Ben Affleck's journey going to continue?
What known sexual harasser Ben
Known
Affleck?
sexual harasser Ben Affleck has recently said in an interview that when it comes to playing Batman, it's not the kind of thing you do forever. I'm looking for a cool way to segue out of it.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt.
Yeah.
You remember when Christian Bale was Batman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, wasn't it? That's pretty cool. Yeah, 2005 to 2012. That's a pretty cool period.
It was a decent.
Do you remember those? Do you remember when he kept saying, "Oh, I'm looking for a cool way to get out of it"? Oh, no, he never did. Oh, okay. Hey, you remember when Michael Keaton was Batman, right?
Oh,
we
yeah,
were pretty
yeah.
little, but, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
it was definitely there. Do you remember when he kept saying, "Oh, I can't wait to wrap up as..." Oh, wait, no, that never happened. It never happened. Hey, do you remember when Andrew Garfield was Spider-Man?
Yeah, yeah.
And he was in some terrible Spider-Man movies, but his passion for the character was so apparent and clear that you could see he was fighting with every bit of his being to make sure that there were good stories for that character and that he would have fun playing it. Do you remember when he said, "I can't wait to quit"?
Oh, no.
Oh, wait.
That didn't happen.
Oh, even he didn't say that, and he was up against a fucking brick wall.
Oh, yes, he was.
Ben Affleck wants out of this so bad,
He
doesn't
does. I think he's regretting every decision he's made since he signed on to BVS.
Compare it
Because
to...
his involvement in the Matt Reeves Batman film is now up in the air.
Well, that's... Yeah, like, last reports of that was that it was going to be set in this Elseworlds also solo Joker movie set sort of thing, where the Batman movies would be separate, but there would also... So the DCEU, as we're still going to call it, because they've not given us an official name, the DCEU would just be contained to Justice League sequels, Wonder Woman sequels, and whatever Harley, Suicide Squad stuff they had planned. Like, that would be the DC.
Probably
And
Flash.
Aquaman's still...
Aquaman's shooting in the moment.
Yeah, so...
Shooting at the moment, yeah.
So, those would be the DCEU.
Yeah.
But alongside it, there would be a Joker origin movie.
Awesome.
The Matt Reeves Batman trilogy, which at one point was one film in the DCEU.
Batman.
I wonder if Joe Manganiello's still involved with that.
Last I heard, he was talking about doing his own Deathstroke movie.
Because, you know,
Yeah.
that's a sensible decision. I don't know where the fuck Shazam's going to fall. Or the Black Adam movie. Oh, God.
Well, apparently Black Adam's going to be in Suicide Squad 2.
Of course he is.
Which Brett Ratner is directing it.
Of course. Is he? Oh, my God.
I believe he's in the director's chair for that.
No, but of course Black Adam's going to be in Suicide Squad 2, because one thing everybody loved about Suicide Squad was how there was a giant supernatural villain. That's just fucking...
Yeah,
for
great.
God's
Really
sake. Ugh, I put it on Twitter this morning. I said, the smartest thing they could do now is just make Wonder Woman sequels, and every now and again just drop a solo film for another character.
Yeah.
Just that. Just do Wonder Woman sequel. Like, Wonder Woman movie this year, next year, Aquaman. Wonder Woman movie the year after, the next year, Flash. Like, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be brilliant. That'd be... Because then it's tolerable to a degree. Don't do anything, and I feel bad for Cavill, but, like, don't do anything involving Superman or Batman, and that way you can create your own new flavour for your universe. So dumb.
What, like, Belanti... Also, Belanti's been accused of sexual harassment.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake. Ugh. Have you watched anything of this year's output from those?
No.
I think we're like 7 or 8 episodes into Flash now.
I watched a bit of an episode of Flash, actually. It was fine.
I don't even think my love for those characters is enough for me to be interested this year.
No.
Because I don't want to see yet another year of, oh my God, the villain is a mirror version of yourself in some way, and to beat them, you've got to run faster than them.
Run faster, Barry. So...
But Affleck is looking to get out. He's looking to jump ship.
And why shouldn't he?
But he's wording it in like a way of, well, you know, I'm not going to play it forever, so it'd be really cool to duck out in some way, and la 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 la. And it's just like...
Well, there's been rumblings of a Nightwing project, so it might tie into that, but we'll see.
I would be fine if they just took a leaf out of the comics and they kill off Bruce, or have him go away, and Dick Grayson takes up the mantle.
Yeah.
Because then, oh my God, if they actually keep to the books, those movies would have to become a little more fun. Because Dick Grayson Batman is so much fun.
I would like a Dick Batman. What?
You'd like to do what?
I would like a Dick Grayson Batman.
You've got a chunk of it there. Yeah, Batman and Robin.
That's the thing. He needs a foil. And he needs a Robin. And they haven't even suggested the existence of Damian Wayne.
No.
I think what makes the Dick Grayson Batman so much fun is his relationship with Damian.
Yeah, I mean, you could find a way to bring that in somehow. Like, even if it's not Damian, like, you could have that kind of
Tim, I guess.
You could do it with Tim. You could do it with Barbara, in a way. Like, or at least in the Oracle role, if they're going to go that way with
is
Barbara.
that Joss Whedon Batgirl movie still happening?
Oh, no, that won't be. Oh, my God. DCE. What I love as well, like, is a couple of years ago, I think, shortly before we started this podcast, I think it was when they did Marvel did that thing where they just went, here's the slate for the next 4 years.
Yeah, it was just before we did this, I think.
It was like a few months ago, and it was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Like, they've got this all planned out. they announced like sort of 6, 7, or 8 definite movies in that slate. Only one of them has stopped.
But it
became something else. Yeah, Inhumans was toward the end of the release schedule, and instead it became an IMAX pilot, an IMAX opener,
which everyone has expressed regret over since.
Yeah. But even so, it's like
Homecoming got slotted in, and then some other stuff moved back. But that's mostly happened.
But and it's
happening.
And at no point have they said none of those aren't happening. Like, what is slated for next year based on the Homecoming adjusted plan? Black Panther, Avengers: Infinity War, and Ant-Man and the Wasp. What's coming out next year? Black Panther, Avengers: Infinity War, and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Boom. There you go. We know what's coming out. Yeah. And then there's going to be like a year's gap before the next one, which will be in sort of like April time.
That's Captain Marvel after
which
that.
is Captain Marvel, Avengers 4,
Infinity
whatever
War
the follow-up is to Infinity War.
Avengers again.
And a Spider-Man sequel with Sony. Yeah. So we know that's coming out in 2019.
What about the Morbius movie?
Don't even.
No, we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it. I just
want
to put it out there.
Sony, the new DC.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. But
it just seems like everyone playing catch up with Marvel Studios has just not been able to get their shit together.
Well, it's tremendous. I mean, Dark Universe.
Universe is dead. Falling apart. Yeah,
that's dead. Not buried, but dead.
Dead. It's just a rotting corpse on a backlot somewhere.
Which is kind of appropriate, really, for the subject matter.
Maybe they should make that the next movie.
Someone resurrecting the Dark Universe.
The rotting corpse of the Dark Universe.
Oh, God. So, it's a clusterfuck, the whole thing. Do you know what I saw a trailer for yesterday?
What's that?
Sherlock Gnomes.
Oh,
do you know what Sherlock Gnomes is?
Is it a sequel to Romeo and Juliet?
It's a sequel to Romeo and Juliet!
Yeah.
So Romeo and Juliet is a cinematic universe now.
Fantastic.
Like, what the fuck?
Where are they going to go with that, though? What comes after Sherlock Gnomes?
Oh, fuck.
Romeo Must Die?
Yeah, I'd watch that. Oh, God.
Fly Away Gnomes? I'm just trying to think of gnome puns that fit in movies that are already
Gnome
movies.
Teen 84.
Oh, Gnome Teen 84!
It's an Orwellian greenhouse.
Good. So good.
Where everyone's positioned on a specific shelf. It's odd. The whole thing's odd as fuck. I think the only other studio that's tried to do the Marvel model where it hasn't been convoluted is Lego. Warner Bros. Animation. Because they're not a cinematic universe in a strict sense.
They're not trying to make a cinematic universe. They're just
it's one movie.
Lego.
One movie that could have been cynical as fuck and turned out to actually have a lot of heart and creativity behind it. And then every other Lego movie from that studio since, there are tiny suggestions that they're all taking place in the same basement. I mean, that's it basically. Like Lego Batman's got the whole the thing.
Clearly features the same Batman as the Lego movie.
Yeah, and you see the Craggle and Emmett in the news footage of like what's apparently beneath us.
But Ninjago doesn't.
Ninjago does have a big reference to it apparently. The stuff with the kitten is implying that it's a big play set on a table.
Oh no, yeah, it's got that sort of like.
And also, it's another story. It's another story about fathers and sons reconciling.
Yeah, but I don't think it's got any like overt references to either Lego Batman.
But that's how you do it. Like, it's just if you're watching these movies. What? How are they connected? They're all the same. They're all a kid's play set. Okay, there we go. That's fine. That's all we need.
But you don't need to have a continuity network about it.
And that's what Marvel was for its first year.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man 2 was a weird placeholder. We're trying to emphasise that these are connected. There's going to be a connection thing going on.
It was a stepping stone. That.
Yeah. But then like Thor does it in a way that it doesn't intrude.
No.
Like the only thing in Thor that doesn't really make sense in the context of its own movie is Hawkeye. You're like. So there's a guy with a bow and arrow who's going to take him out? Who's that? Oh, they've moved on. But that was them going, see you later.
It's just a little tease.
Captain America, nothing. You go, oh, Howard Stark, that's Tony Stark's dad. Oh, that's kind of cool. But they don't make a thing of it. It's just he's a character in the movie. And then at the very end of the film, you go, oh, present day. And that's it. And then we got a team-up movie. And then everyone went off on their own merry way. And sometimes the stories rely on continuity, sometimes they don't.
And they were overly so, I don't think.
But they're also easy to follow. You know, you're getting 2, sometimes 3 a year.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, that's all you need to know. I think this year the first year where it was 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so.
Next year is 3 as well. Then the year after is possibly 3 if Spider-Man Homecoming sequel is that year. So yeah, it's straightforward. DC, it looks like they've got basically a grab bag of things that they are in production on.
They just didn't have a plan.
Don't
have a plan.
The only ones that we think are actually going to happen, expanding on last week, is Shazam's going to have to happen because they've just cast Billy Batson. So if you're shooting that, you got to hurry up because you have a child star.
It needs to shoot soon.
Yeah,
it needs to shoot now.
So Shazam's happening.
Yeah,
as far as we can tell. Wonder Woman 2 is happening. Whether or not on time will tell, based on that story, whether it's true or not. A Flash movie was in production. They announced Flashpoint at San Diego Comic-Con. They said it's going to be about Flashpoint. That has now been brought up as we're not sure what's going on with Flash. And Aquaman is shooting. So we've got Aquaman, Shazam, and possibly Wonder Woman 2 as the only genuinely confirmed these are definitely happening movies.
And even Shazam, like, it's been cast, but until the cameras roll on that, I'm gonna...
Because even Suicide Squad 2 became Gotham City Sirens, and then became Harley and Joker, and now is apparently Suicide Squad 2, but also a Harley and Joker movie as well, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's... You know what, Matt? Yeah. You're a Marvel shill.
I am a Marvel shill!
So let's even the playing field, son.
Okay.
Let's talk about Justice League shit we actually like.
Justice League, the TV show.
And that was the end of our Justice League show. Like, so the Justice League is, obviously different lineups throughout the years, but sort of the core one tends to always centre around the Trinity: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. There's usually a Green Lantern, usually Martian Manhunter, usually someone like Green Arrow or Flash.
Cyborg wasn't a thing.
Aquaman occasionally, and Hawkman or Hawkgirl.
Cyborg wasn't a thing until the New 52.
Yeah.
He's always been a Teen Titan until the New 52. And then they put him in the Justice League. I don't know why.
Yeah, it's so boring.
He's so dull.
I stand by that. He's the only place he's never been boring is the early 2000s Teen Titans cartoon. That's the only time Cyborg has been an interesting character.
I mean, for me, I've not read a lot of Justice League. I've read a lot of books with Justice League characters in them, but I've not read a lot of actual Justice League.
I've read a fair bit on the shelf there. I mean, I've read some, like Elseworld stuff like Justice and things like that.
Yeah.
But like, there's a big chunk of the Grant Morrison into Mark Waid JLA run from the late 90s, early 2000s.
Which I hear great things about, and
it's pretty good.
List of stuff to read. I've just not got around to it.
It's pretty good. I hate the fact that the spines don't fricking match, but that's just the
Yeah.
thing. The first 3 do, and then they give up after that.
That's irritating.
That's really annoying. And I've read bits of Justice League where they've popped into other stories and stuff like the Scott Snyder Batman. There's bits of Justice League pop up in there. In fact, most notably in Endgame when they're all Jokerized and beating the shit out of Bruce.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. But I'd say, aside from maybe like Injustice and stuff like that, the Justice League we're most familiar with is the DCAU.
Yeah.
Which is Justice League the Animated Series and Justice League Unlimited.
And is that explicitly in continuity with the Batman and Superman animated series?
Yeah, the DCAU is Batman the Animated Series / the new Batman and Robin Adventures, Superman the Animated Series, Justice League the Animated Series, Justice League Unlimited, and Batman Beyond. They're the and Static Shock.
Oh yeah,
that wasn't explicitly part of it, but then they did a crossover episode with Batman. Batman had stopped by this point, but they did an episode with the Joker and Batman in it.
Because why not?
And I think Static appeared in a Justice League story as well,
and
toward the end of JLU.
He was made part of the DC universe proper in the New 52 as well.
Yeah.
So they
because again they brought him in Young Justice as well. He's in Young Justice.
Ah yes, okay, cool.
So it's like those sort of 5 and a bit shows are the DCAU. That Justice League was wonderful. I mean, these were the guys who'd worked on Superman the Animated Series and Batman the Animated Series, playing with a more cosmic toy box. Like Batman's the dark Max Fleischer mixed with noir kind of cartoon style. Yeah. Small stories set within Gotham. It was actually kind of exciting when they went globetrotting, like in the Ra's al Ghul story and things like that. It was like, oh, big deal. This is kind of cool. And there are a couple of stories in the last series, the Batman and Robin series, set in Metropolis. Mm-hmm. Superman the Animated Series is mostly set in Metropolis, but alien worlds play into it as well.
Yep.
Justice League and Justice League Unlimited was the DCAU going, okay, bring them all in.
Well, Justice
bring
League...
everybody in.
Because the Justice League, the first 2 seasons, which are just Justice League, is definitely those core characters, and it's multi-part stories.
Yeah. Who is it? It's the John Stewart Green Lantern.
It's John Stewart Green Lantern, Batman, Superman, Barry Allen Flash.
Barry Allen Flash. Oh no, is it Barry Allen?
No, it's Wally West.
It's Wally West Flash.
Wally West Flash.
Wonder Woman, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
And Hawk
Girl.
Yeah. Who is freaking amazing. Hawk Girl and Green Lantern sort of like on off, and then just straight up romance is freaking awesome.
And Wally West is a very good Flash, though.
Wally West is great. Oh my god. A Wally West that is sort of they're taking cues from Barry Allen a bit in it, aren't they? Because the idea is that like this is just the Flash, but we're basing it on the current one in the comics. So
which at the time was Wally West.
Wally West. See. It's a great show, and it's cosmic stuff. It's smaller things. I mean, one of my favourite ones isn't even a Justice League sort of level threat so much as like one superhero could deal with it, but it gets out of hand. It's the one with the Royal Flush Gang, which in Justice League was sort of the ones with fucked up abilities and stuff, including is it Ace, who she's like telekinetic and really screwed with. It's the Joker plants a shit ton of bombs around Las Vegas, hacks all of the TV networks, and basically is showing off like, okay, so I'm going to blow up like these 20 places throughout Las Vegas. If it all goes off, the entirety of the city is going to be wiped out. Guarding the bombs right up until the end of the ticker is the Royal Flush Gang, who he's basically sort of like convinced to help him out, because he's liberated them from the place where they're being experimented on. So they're like, yeah, he wants to take care of us. And it's like, he's the Joker. He really does not want to take care of you.
Yeah.
And basically the Justice League are separated to try and... But it's one of those things where it's like, Superman's like, I could deal with those, but I won't be able to get to those ones in time.
Yeah.
It's like, right, well, we'll split up. And it's
one of the ways you can get one over on Superman and not have those... Yeah.
I think it's most of the Justice League. It's not all of them, but it's most of the JLA in this story. Like, it's a good, like, 5 or 6 of them. And it's great. Like, it's mental, and it's got a scary ass ending. With Ace turning on the Joker at the last minute and stuff, and it's just like, this is horrible.
There's some pretty like high level stuff in those Justice League cartoons. I mean, the first 3-parter is the White Martian invasion.
Yeah, fuck, I've got them over there. I've got because the DVDs of full seasons never come out in the UK.
No,
we got it on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it's all on Amazon Prime. That and Unlimited, and most of Batman, but not Superman.
Yeah, Starcrossed is the first story, isn't it? No, the Brave and the Bold. Yeah, Brave and the Bold, and Starcrossed I think was their like Starro story and everything. And Secret Origins as well was like the episodes that detail like some of the origins of the characters who didn't have their own shows and things like that. Because that's the thing, Justice League is about pretty much it's sort of pretty much at first about Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman to sort of bring you into that world. Mm-hmm. With Martian Manhunter as almost your like the reason the story begins. And then Justice League Unlimited is the one where it's like, right, we're going to put much more focus now on Flash, Green Lantern, Hawk Girl, and also we're going to bring in like mother truckers like the Question. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're just going to start bringing in these random heroes that mainstream audiences don't know much about.
It was that rotating lineup kind of thing, and you got more spotlight episodes,
and to sort of keep people interested who might be like, oh, I don't care about these people. They'd be like, all right, this is when we're going to bring in Lex Luthor, and this is when the threat's going to be like Ra's al Ghul, and you sort of go, well, I thought I didn't care, but like now there's that villain I know, I'll check it out. And of course, you leave the story going, oh, I really like those characters.
The Atomic Skull.
Yeah. Oh my god, they go nuts in. I mean, Grodd features so much.
Yeah.
Well, in the JL stuff.
He's got his own 3-parter in the first season.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh god, I mean, still the best version of Grodd's Brave and the Bold, but. But yeah, like that's the Justice League I know and love. Like that's the one I really enjoy. And if the movie can capture even a bit of that, then I might have a good time. But
I hope so.
We'll see.
I hope so.
Well, I'll see.
Let's see about emails.
Let's see about emails. Let's use our eyes to gander at them. Ooh, mince.
First one comes in from
a person.
Dan Rawlings.
Dan Rawlings, a man who's called Dan Rawlings.
Are we getting an update on the Dear David situation anytime soon?
Yes, there have
Very
been
briefly.
There have been developments in Dear David, but I'm going to save it probably for next week's episode, actually, if not the week after, because there's quite a bit. And also quite a bit has happened with Dear David. Please, Matt, don't look into any of it. I want you to sit there and shit yourself.
If we don't finish this podcast, I'm going to do that very soon.
Oh, beautiful. I'm smelling it in anticipation.
Oh yeah.
But don't worry, I'll be doing a roundup. Of course, if you want to check it out for yourself, Adam Ellis on Twitter. Let me double check his name, his handle, so you can have a look at it. But it's freaky, man. It's freaky. Still no update from the little girl from the third dream, which annoys me. Moby_Dickhead is his name.
Moby Dickhead.
Moby Dickhead. So, give him a check.
If you had to wear one of the Doctor's outfits every day for a month, which one would you choose? You can't say Eccleston, by the way.
I used to kind of wear that all the time. Anyway, I used to wear just like long sleeve t-shirts and a leather jacket. So after what was it? Those conditions.
You have to wear one of the Doctor's outfits every day for a month. Which one? Tennant.
Ooh.
Next question.
Which one? Blue or brown?
Blue.
Ooh, snazzy.
Yeah.
Some red cons. I'm going to say Capaldi's because I kind of wear that anyway.
And also, no one will be coming up to you going, "Why are you cosplaying Doctor Who?
Yeah,
you fucking nerd."
Like I've been. I think you've been doing this as well. You tend to do it with sort of like leather, not leather, but yeah, like leather jackets and stuff. But like denim jackets. You've always worn a hood under a coat.
I've always worn a hoodie under a coat.
I've been wearing a hood under a coat for years. And when he first started doing it in series 9, I remember being like, "Oh god, people are gonna be like, oh, you're doing it because Doctor Who." Oh god,
done it for years.
So Capaldi, because I'd look no different from how I normally do when I'm shopping.
Yeah, apart from the hair.
The hair's amazing.
I have only watched The Lord of the Rings trilogy once. And I don't remember there being a non-white principal character at all. Am I just forgetting someone because it's been so long since I've watched it? Thank you.
What a weird question to pose to two people in a podcast that you could find the answer by Googling.
You are not wrong. I don't believe there are any people of colour in the principal cast. It's a problem. True, yeah. It's a problem that story has, hands down. It's a problem they try to address in The Hobbit in terms of like making it less male-centric by introducing Tauriel, which was terrible. Not
that they did it, but just the execution and the actual storytelling was hindered by this sort of extra element. That it was, and the fact that they're trying to expand the story.
I get the idea behind it, but it was just very poorly executed. It was no, that's a flaw with that story, straight up.
There's less performers of colour than in a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah. All the
name a Tim Burton movie where any big named character is black, for example. Batman, maybe. Harvey Dent
is a background character at best.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm not implying anything from Tim Burton. It's just an odd trend that's become very noticeable.
There's the Oompa Loompas in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah, Deep Roy. Yeah. But that's still just one performer multiplied many times on green screen.
And also unfortunate implications of colonialism and slavery.
Oh God.
Yeah, I don't know. That's straight. Do you think that we'll see this addressed at all in the upcoming Lord of the Rings TV series? Do you think that will have a similar problem of being a very white male cast?
Amazon, right?
Amazon are doing it.
I think if Amazon are clever, they will
find a way.
Here's the thing about diversity in film. It's important to have, but it's important not to force.
Yeah.
So keep in mind that, you should be showing off like a range of talents from around the world. Like, again, forgetting just simply colour of skin, nationality and everything. You should be showing a range of talents from around the world.
All that stuff.
But at the same time, if that's your main reason for casting a person in a role, that's the wrong reason for doing it. You kind of have to find the happy medium. Don't favourite one nationality or race over everyone.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, don't exclude. It's a weird one.
It is a strange
diversity is important, but if you're forcing diversity,
it shows.
It shows, and it can feel disingenuous, and it also feels disingenuous almost to the actor who's been put in the role, because it's like, are they just there not because you like what they're doing, but because of the colour of their skin?
Yeah.
It's an odd one, and something that I suppose neither of us really personally have ever had to deal with within professional careers.
Yeah, I mean, we're people from a position of relative privilege, so it's...
But at the same time, it's like, you can see it and you sort of go... So, here's how they do it. Just make sure your cast aren't all white.
Yeah.
However you do that, that's fine. Don't cast people who aren't white just because they aren't white.
Yeah, have a colourblind casting policy.
Yes, that... Boom ting. There it is.
But, But I guess it's harder in something like Lord of the Rings. Where, well, you can turn around and say, Lord of the Rings is based on, medieval Europe, so there was less people killing themselves. Well, yeah, but it isn't, though, because it's a fucking fantasy story.
Yeah, it's based on medieval Europe. It isn't medieval Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fucking fantasy story. You can make it work.
Well, Rabbit, what the fuck why is there an Amazon prequel TV series to Lord of the Rings? I'm guessing it's going to be set in the movie universe.
Who the fuck knows?
Oh, God.
I'm going to have to wait for some more information to come out on that before we talk about it, because I don't even know what they're going to do with that.
It's Amazon going, Game of Thrones is wrapping up. We should
get that moolah.
Get some of that fantasy pie.
Yeah.
So stupid.
Ginger Luke is getting back in touch with us, apologising for not having emailed in a while because of Disneyland and homework and lots of films.
I think Disneyland is a valid reason to not get in touch with a podcast, mate.
And also, you don't need to apologise to us, you're under no obligation, but we always like to hear from you.
Although, that being said, do pay us your protection money.
Yes.
You wouldn't want anything bad to happen to this place, see?
So I'm going to quick fire some films at you because he wants to know whether we've seen them and thoughts we have.
Oh, okay.
And rate them out of 10.
Rating out of 10?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Alright.
You ready?
Is that, can we rate them even if we haven't seen them?
You could try.
Okay.
Analyse this.
Analyse what?
Yeah.
The film. Oh, is that the one with Jack Nicholson and Adam Sandler?
I've not seen it. No, that's Anger Management.
Is it? Analyse this is... For some reason in my head I've got it that it's also Jack Nicholson.
I don't know.
Probably is. Haven't seen it.
10 out
of 10.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
You know, I've never seen it.
I've seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. It's fucking great.
Is it Downey Jr. and Val Kilmer? Is it that one?
Yes.
I've seen some of it then.
It's really good.
10 out of 10. Best movie ever.
Yeah. 8 or 9 out of 10.
Alright.
Ice Princess, because Michelle Trachtenberg. Don't even know.
I'm
Don't
aware
even know.
it's an ice skating movie with Michelle Trachtenberg. As much as I love Michelle Trachtenberg, I haven't seen it. 10 out of 10. Best movie ever.
The producers, both versions.
Okay. The 2004 movie, Bag of Shit. Oh no, but like it's directed by whoever directed it on stage, the initial Broadway version.
Really?
Yeah, and it's directed like that.
Oh.
So there are pauses in the edit and everything for applause, and there are held shots. Like at the end of Betrayed, Nathan Lane holds like the pose at the end of the camera, and it's there for like a good 5-6 seconds before it cuts to the next thing. It's really odd. Also,
so it's more like a pro shot on a set rather than an actual film adaptation.
On stage, much funnier than on film, and some of that's down to the casting as well. Will Ferrell can be very funny, but he does not work in that movie.
No.
No. Matthew Broderick is apparently a phenomenal Broadway performer. I've never seen him on Broadway, but I've seen him do one of his Broadway roles on film in that, and he's terrible. So that's weird. So I'll say this. Do you know what they should have done? They should have just filmed a performance and released it theatrically, and that would have. Do you know what I mean? That would have got the point across, and you would have had the audience vibe, and it would have been a concert film basically, but a theatrical release of a theatre piece. 2 out of 10. The 2 you only get that one for each of Uma Thurman's legs. Yeah, the original movie, non-sarcastically, all of the 10s, because the producers, the original flick is amazing. It's absolutely brilliant. It's proper creepy, weird farce. Like, it's silly, it's show-tuned, it's really, really close to the frickin' line gags about the Nazis, and just, it's great. It's absolutely brilliant.
I've never seen either, but if I was to choose one, I would probably choose the original.
You've never seen them?
No.
Well, I know what you're leaving with today. Oh my god.
Don't.
Yes, do 1,000 times. The producers is amazing.
Heathers.
It's one of Gene Wilder's best performances.
Heathers.
Not sure what it is.
It's a what's his name? John.
John Waters? No. Hughes.
John Hughes.
Not seen Heathers. Have you seen Heathers?
Not seen Heathers.
10 out of 10.
Okay. The Great Outdoors. Don't know what that is.
No, I've not seen that. I've heard of it, but no. 10 out of 10.
Attack the Block.
Yeah.
Definitely 10 out of 10. It's fucking great.
Yeah, it's pretty damn sweet. Sci-fi nerds, if you want to watch the Doctor and a Stormtrooper take on aliens in a block of flats, directed by Scornballs, then you need to watch it. Yeah. It's really good.
Spaceballs.
I loves me some Mel Brooks, as I have just sort of given with the producers.
It's aged well though.
Spaceballs is odd. Spaceballs is like, do you know? It's like Spaceballs is like, you go out for a meal, and you have a curry.
Yeah.
And you have an absolutely delicious curry.
I've never had a curry.
And then you want to sort of recapture it. Like, you know, the next day you're like, oh God, I enjoyed that curry so much. I just want curry again. I want another curry. So in your lunch break, you pop to Sainsbury's and you get a microwavable curry. And you make the microwavable curry and it hits a spot and it sort of makes you think a bit about last night. But it's obviously not as good, but yeah, it's what it is. That's Spaceballs to Star Wars. Like, Spaceballs is basically just a weird love letter / piss take of then blockbuster cinema. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there's some really fun stuff in it, especially John Candy as Barf.
Well, yeah.
He's great.
I mean, John Candy. Just John Candy. Anyway.
John Candy. And Bill Pullman as Lone Star is great. Rick Moranis steals the movie as Dark Helmet.
Yeah.
Because it's just weird to watch him playing a villain. And it's just a lot of fun to watch. It's not brilliant. Like, it's. I love Robin Hood Men in Tights, but the last 3 Mel Brooks movies, last 3 proper ones, were Spaceballs, Robin Hood Men in Tights, and Dracula Dead and Loving It. They are his least good films.
Robin Hood Men in Tights is pretty great, though.
I love it, but it is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it is bad. It's saved by, like, the sheriff's performance in Carry On was his accent. Why should the people believe you? Because, unlike most other Robin Hoods, I speak with an English accent.
I mean, a lot of things have been saved by Cary Elwes in his career.
It's very true. In fact, all 3 of those movies are sort of parodies of specific other films.
Yeah.
Spaceballs is Star Wars, Robin Hood Men in Tights is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and Dracula Dead and Loving It is Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah. Which I love.
They're not his highlights.
But it's almost a parody of itself. Like, you don't need to parody.
I always say, I know where the bastard sleeps.
I love it. I love it. I really love Bram Stoker's Dracula, but it is not necessarily great.
I know they take the piss out of bad accents in that movie through Mel Brooks's Van Helsing in Dracula Dead and Loving It. Was it what happened if they bite her? She will become one horse. What? She will become one horse. It's like, what? It's just like here's Mel Brooks pretending to be Anthony Hopkins for some reason. It was Hopkins, wasn't it, in Bram Stoker?
Yeah,
It was Van Helsing. Yeah.
Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Spaceballs is fun, but it's really not. It's really not reflective of the best Brooks has to offer. It's a good 6 out of 10. It's a fun, stupid movie. May the Schwartz be with you.
Is there one more? Yes.
The entire skit about merchandising is great.
Caddyshack.
I've never seen Caddyshack.
I've never seen Caddyshack.
But as like a Bill Murray fan, and was Harold Ramis in Caddyshack?
I'm not sure.
No, it's Stripes. I'm thinking of, isn't it? Stripes was the one that
probably
they were in. I do want to watch it. Hummin' and all that shit. Rodney Dangerfield's in Caddyshack, isn't he?
Probably.
That's always weird.
We'll have to watch Rodney Dangerfield.
10 out of 10.
Hey.
Well, next week on Big Dumb Cast, we hold a seance to bring back Rodney Dangerfield.
Get the spirit board. We don't have the Hasbro license.
Get the spooky board.
The spooky board. Last
Did
one.
you steal my bed?
Last one comes in from Guy Grist.
Hi, Guy Grist.
Hello, Chris Matt. Thanks for answering my question. It's really surreal having someone else read one's email. I'm sure I'll get used to it. Don't worry, that's what we do.
Imagine if we did it again. Oh my god!
Chris, your anecdote about Terry Pratchett was very touching. Thank you for sharing it.
Thanks. It was one of those things that was just locked in my brain until we talked about it. I was like, oh my god!
I'd never heard that story.
I know. It was a nice little sort of wake up.
I'm
a very forgetful man.
I got into his work much later in life and didn't get a chance to meet him before his untimely death. I also didn't, sadly. Matt, I really tried to be open-minded about Star Trek Discovery. I really wanted to like it. There's been no Star Trek since 2005. We desperately need an optimistic vision of the future, considering the current political climate we live in at the moment, which is very true. Unfortunately, I felt the optimism I was looking for was completely absent and was getting really distracted by the fact that the camera wouldn't stay still for more than 5 seconds. I think that's more modern TV than anything else.
Yeah.
Glad you finally joined me in something I couldn't, and hope you continue to enjoy it in the future. I intend to. And I got to mention in my last email that Star Trek Voyager is my favourite. That's mostly because I grew up with it and it's become a nostalgic, happy place to go back from time to time and just put on a random episode or two to escape just for a bit. I was wondering what some of your nostalgic, happy places are.
Ooh, that's a really good question. Lois and Clark.
Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is one for me. The BBC Two afternoons, the Star Trek lineup.
Star Trek Next Generation.
Next Generation for that in a way. Red Dwarf, because I used to like, that was the one thing during my pocket money era. that I'd make sure that when it came out, I bought it on the day of release. Was when the DVDs were starting to come out over the course of a few years.
The old original Transformers cartoon, which is terrible, but it's a nostalgic happy place. You know, it's not supposed to be. It doesn't need to be good. Apart from that movie, though, that movie's fucking awesome. Anything else?
I'm trying to think of anything specific. A lot of it is sort of stuff I grew up with in my teens that I revisit now to sort of thingy, but I guess
I like revisiting X-Files, but I wouldn't call that a happy place.
No, Disney Renaissance films, the 90s Disney stuff. Yeah,
yes, of course.
That's a big one for me. Singing along to it as well. The soundtracks sort of take me to my happy place. If I've got a long walk or somewhere, if I'm walking home at night and everything, I'm just not, I'm sort of in that kind of mood. Whack on a Disney playlist and listen to the 90s soundtracks.
The original Star Wars trilogy for me, because I had them on. Yeah. I used to have them taped off when they got shown at Christmas.
Is that how you used to watch
on
them?
ITV? So it had the little scrolling charity appeal thing that came up on the bottom of the screen every now and again. And of course, it had been cut for commercial breaks, but the recording had been paused. So but yeah, that's how I had.
Dude, that's so cool.
I had a proper VHS of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But
was that the blue one with the red writing? So
no, it was the one before that.
Oh, the late 80s release.
With the silver case with the old style poster on the front. I did later get the new one. Yeah. And then after that,
because they were the re-releases that coincided with the cinematic re-releases in the mid-90s, weren't they?
And no, that was the special edition.
Which I've got out there. Yeah. The gold box, which was inside a slipcase that made a fart noise whenever you closed it.
They were re-released on VHS before that, and then when they were re-released in the cinema, it was the special editions. So they were released as special editions on VHS.
That was it. And because all the Disney movies in the early 90s had adverts for Star Wars on them. It was Fox and Disney films.
Yeah.
And it was the ones where it was like, it's your last chance, get it now before they're gone. Dun-dun-dun-dun. And it's always like, oh shit!
Yeah. And that was the VHS re-releases of the original cuts.
And how little did we know they meant it? Yeah, like they meant it. After that, we were never getting those versions again.
Well, I think getting the theatrical cuts out there was one of the reasons Disney were looking to buy Fox.
Yeah,
because Fox still had the distribution rights for that original trilogy.
But yeah, I remember they were advertised on Disney videos. But I think that might have been
way back, though.
That might have been to do with like the park tie-ins and things like that. Maybe.
I think so. What else have we gone? So the new Doctor's costume feels to me like it's produced from a bunch of charity shop bins. It seems with each announcement about the series, I'm finding myself less and less interested in it.
Oh
well, at least I got my classic series DVDs, and I still love Paradise Towers.
I love how everything you were saying, we were like, oh, it's a shame. Well, all right.
I have a soft spot for Paradise Towers.
It's so stupid.
Old Sylvester and that question mark pullover. Perfect. Well, I think we've shared our thoughts on the costume, but
yeah, I hope you do. I hope you do check out the first episode of the new series when it comes out, and I hope it does. I hope there's something there that makes you go, "Oh, okay. Do you know what? I like this."
It can always get better.
That's true.
Doesn't mean it will. Yeah, but it can.
Much like this podcast.
Finally, I was wondering what your thoughts on Dune and its associated universe. The first book is one of my favourite novels, not so keen on the sequels and endless prequels. Anyway, keep up the good work. Regards, Guy.
I think Guy is Comic Book Girl 19 in disguise trying to plug some leftover Dune boxes. I
have never seen Dune or read Dune. I've only seen pictures from the David Lynch version. I've never watched it.
I've seen some of the movie.
I hear Dune 2000 is a really sick strategy game. If for like early 90s real-time strategy games.
I read Dune when I was 13.
Is it any good?
Very heavy read for a 13-year-old.
I imagine it's quite...
I recall finding it to be a bit of a slog, but not because I wasn't enjoying it, more because I was 13 and it was a very big book. Like, I had a thing like in my mid-teens where like if I was still reading it after about 4 weeks, I was like, oh my god, what is going on? Because I was such an avid reader in like the evenings. I'd spend like at least an hour every weeknight reading, and I was like, so I'm gonna have to revisit it, but I do recall enjoying it. Like there was stuff I dug.
Yeah.
My favourite bit in Dune is when one of the things pops up in Beetlejuice. That's not. I'm being facetious.
No.
But yeah, no, maybe. Tell you what, there's a homework assignment for you and me. At some point next year, we'll have to have done enough homework to talk about Dune for an episode.
Well,
Add it to the list. Terry Pratchett.
Apparently, that's Denis Villeneuve's next project. So
Really?
Yeah.
After Blade Runner 2049, I'm like,
think
yes,
so.
please.
So that might be interesting.
Oh god, playing with, I mean, the way he plays with landscapes.
Yeah.
That'd be gorgeous.
Yeah.
Ooh, mate.
Interesting.
Will Sting be involved?
Don't know. Maybe.
Fair enough.
They're getting back for a. It'll be revealed in the first trailer.
Sure, Patrick Stewart's in the original movie as well, somewhere. Like, we're talking early days.
Hey,
Patrick Stewart.
Stewart's in Life Force. Like, nothing surprises me anymore.
He is. He gets a steamy gay vampire kiss.
Life Force is so good. By which I mean it's fucking terrible.
Are they doing that again?
I hope not.
Like, it's either a sequel or a like a TV series based on it or something.
I don't want to speak ill of the dead in terms of the late Toby Hooper, but he was not a very good director.
No, he was not.
Despite Texas Chainsaw Massacre being a classic and Poltergeist being a classic, mainly because Spielberg actually directed most of it, but don't tell anyone. Yeah, I think Texas Chainsaw Massacre was probably a fluke.
It probably was. I say that as a man who, on the shelf behind me, there is a 3-disc steelbook DVD version of it. Even I'm like, this movie was a mistake. Speaking of mistakes, you've been listening to Big Damn Cast.
Poor soul.
If you want to get in touch with us during the week, you know how to do it. bigdamncontact@gmail.com.
That's the one.
If you manage to see Justice League sometime before the weekend of the 17th through to 19th.
Yeah, we'll be recording the Justice League 18th or 19th.
Yeah, it's going to be quite another record, so get your reviews into us. If not, fear not, if you get them in after that, we'll do a roundup of reviews as well the week after, should you want to send us one. Of course, you can tweet us anytime, come back anytime.
Literally anytime.
That's my weekly tip.
You're not supposed to read it anytime,
yeah,
because we sleep.
Yeah.
But you can tweet us anytime.
You might sleep. I bleed.
God.
We have such sights to show you. So that's
for a future podcast.
Oh, it is indeed. We'll put a pin in that one.
Hey!
At Big Damn Cast on Twitter. And of course, you can watch our nonsenses throughout the week, including brand new adventures in backlogging. What is your current game, good sir?
Currently playing Ico.
What the fuck's
HD
Ico?
Good question. Played an hour and a half of it, and I still haven't worked it out.
Fair enough. Sounds about right. I'm going to try and get a couple of Chris Plays out as well while I'm in Lincoln. This is the last time we're recording a podcast this side of the year in the same room. Yeah,
until 2018.
Should we end it by making out?
I'm gonna leave.
What?
And never come back.
What?
No, get away from me with that.
Come on, just.
I'm not wearing that.
Just a little peck.
I am not wearing it.
Through the hole.
No.
Through the hole on. Come on.
No.
It's perfect. It'll bulge.
It's sticky.